Welcome everybody to another episode of ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zach Brown, and joining with me as always is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast platforms, YouTube channel, all social media platforms. We're going to talk about what happened at the Brickyard 400. Unfortunately, a lot of rain affected a lot of racing last week, specifically in Pennsylvania for the Outlaw Showdown up there. We will get in touch on that too and preview Iowa this week. We've got a fun game. I've got a really fun game for you, Dad. I think you'd like it. It's from another podcast that I've seen, kind of bringing it over to this. But first, let's go to our segment. We forgot to do it last week, but we're going to off camera. Things we may have or may not have done this last week, or if there's a funny story or anything like that. So I'll start. So this past weekend, my wife Haley took Chandler up to the mountains with my father-in-law, and all the boys were up there. Callie was my youngest, was watched by my mother-in-law, so I kind of had the weekend to myself, but I had to work some off-duty assignments and stuff. Go to this one off-duty assignment, and to preface this, the heat index was nearly 110 degrees on Saturday here. I get to my off-duty assignment. It was at a bar down in where I work. I get there, and first of all, I'm never notified of this, but there's a giant post on the door, and I'm like, that doesn't look good. I read it, it's like, oh yeah, because of the excessive heat today, we had to, and our AC's broken, we had to close at 5. I said, I was never notified. So with their policy, if you get to an off-duty assignment and were never notified, you're going to get paid for that off-duty assignment no matter what. I went home, cracked a few beers, and played Call of Duty. So I got paid to play Call of Duty. That was my fun story off camera.
That's a
Did you
good
have
one.
anything?
Well, the last thing we did that was probably anything fun is in we are 10 miles from Disney World. So the new test track ride, well, the new test track refurbished ride opened up at Epcot. We were able to get a pass holder preview. So we get our time to come back, and of course we're in line. It breaks down, of course. So what should have been a 20, 30 minute wait turned into an hour. It was all right. I wouldn't wait for it. And we were going to go see the new parade in Disney World last Saturday, and we've had, heat indexes 115 to 120. It was just too damn hot. So we sat in the pool and drank beer. That was pretty much our whole weekend and waited for some racing. Hoping this will sort of segue in. We were hoping to watch some Williams Grove, sit in the pool, watch some sprint cars. Mother Nature said, ain't gonna happen.
No, they only got one race in the World of Outlaws, if I'm not mistaken, and that was taken by King Anthony himself. Won the race, and he went back-to-back races against the Outlaws. So that was a big time.
Yep.
He's got some momentum going now. Look at Macri go.
Yeah, he's been running good. They did get the race in Sunday at Weedsport, New York, which was won by David Gravel. But yeah, Macri, you can't say, these Pennsylvania guys don't go nowhere. He goes out and wins the King's Royal. So you can't say that about him for sure. So yeah, he's definitely got some momentum going, and so we'll see how that rolls over into next weekend, biggest sprint car race of the year in Knoxville, Iowa.
Yeah, racing's in Iowa for the next couple weeks, so
Yeah,
there's
it's a
actually
good time to be out there.
something to do in Iowa now. Well, and they just had Indy cars there too. So I mean, Iowa's got a lot, and unfortunately, tornadoes kind of made people stay away from Iowa during the IndyCar week, but still a lot of racing in Iowa, a lot more stuff than they're used to seeing. We'll look at Iowa here ahead in the NASCAR Cup Series coming up, and we'll preview Knoxville Nationals next week. Just a quick news for the Knoxville Nationals: Sammy Swindell will attempt to make his, I think it's 49th Knoxville Nationals starting
That's
next
awesome.
week. He just announced. So that is absolutely insane that he's
Yeah,
been able to race that many.
yeah. Good luck to Sam. So I'd love to see him make the show.
For sure. And then Kyle Larson is the defending champion, looking to 3 years in a row lead every single lap, which has never been done. So that would be
Yeah.
unheard of if they can make that happen. So we'll preview Knoxville Nationals next week as we get into it. Let's talk about the Brickyard 400 real quick. probably the biggest upset of the year so far. Bubba Wallace gets a win in one of the crown jewel races of NASCAR. And there's a lot of people that are complaining, bitching, and moaning about all this stuff. And first of all, I've been a Bubba Wallace critic for a long time, and we both have. I'm going to tell you this. First of all, NASCAR did not give that to them. They strategized it perfectly. They saved enough
Yeah.
fuel. They got lucky with the rain, sort of unlucky too, because I thought they were going to be a sitting duck when it went back to green. He held off Kyle Larson, who was probably the fastest after about five left. Larson just didn't have enough time to get heat in the tires and get it rolling. I think that rain benefited Bubba Wallace. Looking back on it now, cooled off the tires because Larson wasn't really good on cool tires. It had to get heated up after about a lap because he closed in on that second lap, but it was too little, too late. And I'll say this right now: since Bubba's had a kid, his mindset's been completely different. You see a lot of drivers have kids and they've become more humble and they can become more appreciative of each and every week. That was really cool to see him celebrate with his kid. You always enjoy seeing that too. So congrats to Bubba Wallace. Well deserved. I mean, it wasn't given to him by any
No.
means. They just did it perfectly. And you see a lot of these crown jewel races. You see a lot of random upsets happen.
Yeah, and I don't know how big of an upset we want to call it. Figure it's, it's the top one of the top two tier Toyota teams. So it's not like say a Front Row Motorsports would have won that race. That would be an upset. Bubba was fast the whole day. They unloaded quick, they time trial good. The thing was fast. They hit the strategy just right. I mean, hats off to Bubba. It's not everybody can hold off Kyle Larson. And you know what? They race clean. Kyle Larson comes over and Victor Lane congratulates Bubba. Yeah, good to see. And like you said, you get a kid, all of a sudden you grow up fast. I mean, things are your perspective changes on what's important in life.
Yeah, and it was very much liked in the garage. He's buddies with a lot of guys in the garage, so everybody came up and congratulated him. And I mean, yeah, again, so we were talking about it was a little bit of a snooze fest the first half of the race or something like that, but as they went, you could see the strategies unfolding and how they were trying to battle the weather. That's what makes these big races like this interesting. Yeah, it's going to get kind of strung out, not a lot of passing to start off. But when you work that strategy in, that's what makes this type of racing exciting. That's why I love the Brickyard 400 for that, because you never know. And then you have sometime, and tires were playing a factor too. Goodyear
For
brought a
some
different tire,
teams,
and it wasn't the worst tire. It wore out. Just it was weird. It was like it wore out. It didn't wear out until about 30, 35 laps. And then when it started wearing out, it wore out fast. And you saw some tire issues too, that played a factor in some people's day. The in-season challenge was won by a tie, of course, because it came down to the two ties. But Ty Gibbs, that was not a shocker, but in that specific race, Ty Dillon's luck finally ran out at the end. Ty Gibbs did get caught up in a wreck at the end. I said, ain't no way. He gets a DNF, and Ty Dillon finishes 29th and wins this $1 million. He had enough. He didn't have to go a lap down or anything, so he was fine. But I was like, I was about to say, the cool thing Ty Gibbs did was he got up with Ty Dillon, and whatever charity of Ty Dillon's choice, they're giving $10,000 in his name for that. So that was
yeah,
really cool to see
yeah,
too.
that's pretty cool. And it's nice to see, two separate teams and their sponsors get together and do something nice to, help the community out. So that's awesome to see. Good for them.
And the negative news, I guess, for the week is that Austin Hill was suspended for a race. This race weekend at Iowa. I'm sure they'll try to appeal it, but I don't think it will be overturned.
I think
Uh,
Childress said he wasn't going to. Last
you
I
can
saw.
you can see from either the telemetry, and you can just see he had white
Oh
gloves
yeah,
on.
he turned him.
Yeah, he had white gloves on. You could see it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that was uncalled for, and it definitely needed a suspension. Austin Hill's becoming a dirty driver, and he's
Yeah.
he's done this time and time again. He's kind of complained after a lot of races too.
And he's the
When
first
people
one
race
that'll
him, if,
cry
if
if
people race
somebody
him
doesn't.
slightly hard, he gets all but hurt about it, and then he does
Yep.
something stupid like this. No, I lost a lot of respect for Austin Hill on that stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, did Eric Almirola get into him? Yeah, got him loose. Oh well, all right, move on with your life.
Yeah.
Fall
Didn't
in behind
crash.
him and then get racing.
They didn't crash. Austin Hill
So
could have bumped him up the lane and passed him. Okay, all's fair.
Yep.
Just flat out turn, and they're going, they're going fast. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what?
that was a pretty
What?
good hit.
I mean, it was 150 miles an hour through that corner. I mean, it
Yeah,
was the
not
middle of
like
a corner.
Martinsville when you crash, it's not as big of a deal, but
Well, regardless, just the angle you hit,
oh,
anytime you get right rear hooked, it's going to be a hard hit because it hits at 90-degree angle, and the way physics works, that hits hard. I think that's all to really go over from the Brickyard 400. So we're going to get into Iowa and what Iowa's known for. It's corn
corn.
and nothing else to do. Uh, there's corn and racing. That's really what there is. So a fun game for you. I've seen it on a lot of different podcasts. We're going to do a blind ranking. So 1 through 5. You don't know what comes next. 1 obviously being the best one on
Okay.
this, 5 being the worst. So blind rank these 5 corn-based meals.
All right.
Starting off simple as this, corn on the cob.
You know what? Everybody's corn on the cob. We're gonna put that right in the middle at a 3.
Okay, set the bar right there.
Yep.
All right. Cornbread.
Not the biggest fan. I'm gonna put that down to 5.
Popcorn.
Give it a 4.
All right, all
I'm
right.
I'm
You
I'm banking on these last two to be really be good.
got all right. Hominy and sausage.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna put that at my number 1.
All right. And final, chicken corn soup. Pennsylvania Dutch style.
You know what? You can put 1 and 2 to get either or on that one. So yeah, I think I did okay on that one. We'll put that one at 2.
All right, that'll
I,
be a
I was
good
actually
list.
waiting for like a Mexican street corn or something. I was like, man, I don't know where to
I
find
was
that one.
well,
That
I
might
had
be
corn on
good.
the cob. It was either going to be Mexican street corn or corn on the cob. I was like, basic corn on the cob's fine. With that being said, let's get into Iowa. This is one of my favorite tracks, and it is my probably my favorite track and best track in iRacing, which I'll be racing. I'll probably be doing a live stream tonight on that. I struggled in iRacing at Indianapolis. A lot of drivers suck and wreck you. Kind of realistic actually. But Iowa, it's in my mind, it's a smaller Richmond. It's a little bit different configuration through 1 and 2, but it's same idea, same kind of setup you want to have in this. Expect Toyotas to be pretty quick in this race. I think it's going to be a good crowd for a NASCAR race. It was a bummer to see the not much of a crowd with Indy, which is very rare. But with NASCAR going to Iowa, I think it's going to have another successful weekend there.
Yeah, Iowa's a neat. It's a neat size. So we're right in the middle there. It's between Richmond and I guess probably closer to Phoenix. So we got a 7/8 of a mile. Traditional oval. Like you said, Toyota's gonna be fast. I got a feeling Fords are going to be good. Ryan Blaney won this race last year. I don't know, just in the back of my mind somewhere, this seems like a very Ford racetrack this week. I mean, the way I pick things, so we're probably going to be completely off on that one. So we'll see what happens. I hopefully we get a nice tire that has some fall off because this is probably closer to a short track more than anything else. So this car on short tracks kind of struggles a little bit. So we'll see what happens. It's probably going to be blistering hot out there, and that could really affect handling and tire wear and things like that. So, going to be interesting. Yeah, looking forward to seeing this one. And my guess is the Xfinity race is probably going to be a better race than the Cup race this week.
It just generally is with the shorter tracks with Xfinity. Actually, a
Yeah.
lot of races in Xfinity have been better races this year. Um,
Well, there's usually a few more cautions, and cautions brings a little bit, excitement on the restarts and flips up some strategies and things like that. So the Cup guys are just so good. They don't unless they have a tire go down, they hardly ever crash.
well, with this heat though, it's going to play a factor. Going to play some fatigue in it. Expect tempers to flare a little bit too. You're going to see cars like Carson Hocevar. He's going to be racing through the field. He's going to have some bump and runs. People are going to get pissed off. You're going to see Ross Chastain, same type of story. It could make a lot of people angry. You might see some right rear hooks, unfortunately, in this race too. Uh, Definitely, you're going to see some bump and runs
Yeah, I think you'll
for
definitely see
sure.
that.
with the hot slick track, I think that will make it a better short track race. And it's a short track that's got a little bit of banking and
Yeah.
it races bigger than what it is. So I think it could be a better race
Yeah,
than.
and it's been a long time since it's been paved, so the track's got character and things like that. So that that'll make it more interesting. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm glad they're in Iowa. I think it's a is a fun little track, and I think it's the perfect size for these cars. So you got it's not quite a short track, but it kind of races like a short track. So this might be just right in the wheelhouse, hopefully for this style car.
They won't be going as fast as the Indy cars around here.
No, man, the Indy
Definitely
cars
not.
turn that thing in like 16 seconds or something
Yeah,
stupid.
they hit like 190 down the front stretch and they go through like 170 through the corners, barely lift. It's pretty insane. Uh, all right, well, without further ado, let's get into our segment of NASCAR Fantasy at Iowa. Somebody's closing in a little bit at the lead. I'm chipping away, chipping away. We're getting closer, closer. We
Yeah,
tied again last week. I'll
yeah,
put the standings once again on the screen. I'm gonna actually look at the standings while I've got it pulled up. So I am now. It is getting close. I am 47 points behind mom. I can do this.
yeah. I'm probably like 200 points behind. So
It's doable. What, three races left? Iowa, Watkins Glen, no, it's four. Iowa, Richmond, Daytona, Watkins Glen, whatever order they want to go with that. But that's
yeah,
the.
I don't know how we're still never figured out this whole fantasy thing. Because then we got
Hey,
the
all I know
second
is I just
drivers
want to
and
win either regular season or the post. I don't care, but just make it. At least I'm not getting. Neither one of us is getting absolutely destroyed anymore.
no,
So
I see. I'm only like 73 back.
yeah,
So
that's doable. It's getting down to the wire. All right. So NASCAR fantasy heading into Iowa. Let's give our lineups. Go ahead with your lineup. I think I went first last week.
all right. So I'm starting to run out of some drivers here. So we're starting to mix things up, makes it a little more interesting. So this week in my starting five, I have Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Carson Hocevar, Ryan Blaney, and in my garage I have Chase Briscoe. You were just talking about the aggressiveness between Hocevar and Chastain, and here I got them both in my lineup this week. So we'll see. Don't let me down, guys. So the feature matchups, we have Bubba Wallace versus Ross Chastain. Bubba riding high after that one, but I got Chastain on this one. I'm sure Chastain's going to have the Bush corn car. I'm sure out in this one, so we're gonna go with him. Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell. That's actually a really tough one. I got Christopher Bell this week. Ricky Reckhouse, I mean Stenhouse and Josh Berry. I think this could be a very good track for Josh Berry. Short track. I got Josh Berry and Ryan Blaney and William Byron. There's another super tough one. Uh, Byron's been fast and then struggles late, so I got Blaney on this one. Go ahead
All
with
right.
yours.
Well, I can't use Larson right now because I only have one race left for him, and it's like, which one do I want to pick for him? There's three tracks left that he could do well at, and there's one track that I'm not using him for. Guess what that one is? So we'll save him possibly for Watkins Glen. That's a good track for him. But for my starting lineup, I have Mr. Consistent right now. I've got Chase Elliott, who is the points leader if it was the Winston Cup Series. I found that out. I think he actually is the regular season points leader.
I think so. It's close between he and Byron and Larson and Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. So I do have Chase Elliott, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and in the garage, I do have Ross Chastain. I almost put Hocevar in one of those two, but I like Chastain in the garage. Bubba Wallace versus Chastain. I do have Chastain. I really was about to click on Bubba, but I'm like, this is a better track, I think, for Chastain, especially for the farmers, bush farmers, whatever the car
Yeah,
that's
I
going
know
to
something
be.
with corn on it.
Uh, Chase Elliott versus Christopher Bell. I do have C Bell in this one. Both are in my lineup. It's a good track for Bell. And I'm with you on the Josh Berry logic here. I do have Josh Berry over Stenhouse. And this is where a little bit different. I do have William Byron over Ryan Blaney. Just a weird feeling. Byron's been not great, so he's due for a decent finish coming up, which very well could be Daytona in a couple weeks too, where he won the Daytona 500. Uh, the hot picks this week are Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, so they went out on a limb on that stuff.
Yeah.
And I only have like two races left for Denny, so that's why I didn't have Denny in the lineup
Yeah,
too. Denny's going in Richmond.
Denny's out for me. I'm
Well,
done.
Denny's going to go in Richmond. Chris Buescher, it says to avoid, which surprising, he's usually a sleeper. Avoid Kyle Busch. Every week you could probably avoid Kyle Busch at this point. Pretty
Yeah,
sure
and he
Ruben
starts
George.
off so good. He was running top 10, and then all of a
It's like
sudden
they
you
have
look up,
no
he's two
idea
laps
how to.
down.
It's like they have no idea how to work the track. They
Yeah,
just have
it's
no clue at all. But the sleeper is Ross Chastain, which I do agree with that one. I think it could be a very good track for Chastain. And let's give our race winning picks for this week at Iowa. So, who do you guys got?
so we're both in the Ford camp this week. So my pick is Joey Logano. Mom's pick is Ryan Blaney.
She picked Blaney a couple times, and Blaney won last time she picked him.
Yeah, I know. So you're welcome, Blaney.
Uh, I think it was Nashville where she picked him, if I'm not mistaken. And for my pick, I'm not staying in Ford. I'm going Toyota. I do have Christopher Bell winning at Iowa.
Okay.
The only thing to really quick highlight is the big shocker is that Alex Blow won another race in IndyCar.
Yeah. Oh,
He
and
is he is
Stuart.
having a historic year in IndyCar. I think he already or is on pace to have the most wins in an IndyCar season.
He's won them all, but what? Two, three?
Yeah, and he's won ovals. I
Yeah.
mean, he's already got the championship in the bag. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real. He could skip two more races, two, three races altogether and still win it. So it looks like David Gravel and Pillow are going to be the champions already that we can kind of foresee. That's kind of easy to tell.
Yeah.
And all the other ones, Sean, actually, I think a champion you might want to look out for is the 19-year-old Connor Zilic in the Xfinity Series. That kid can drive a freaking car,
Yeah. Yeah. He's good everywhere now.
which was
I
the
mean,
100th
it's,
win in junior motorsports history.
yeah. And
Uh,
just a quick note that if you didn't see, NASCAR truck driver Stuart Friesen was injured in a modified crash up in New York, I believe. Uh,
I think it's Canada.
was he in Canada? He's from Canada, so I wasn't sure. It's up in there somewhere, but
I know he's in a hospital in
that
Canada.
was a bad crash. So he had surgery. He broke his leg and had a couple vertebrae. So unfortunately, he's out for the year on that one. It's a shame these drivers. There's been a lot of drivers been getting hurt. So hopefully, whatever in the universe that's causing this straightens out. And
And it's a lot in the dirt racing world.
yeah, which is
Uh,
unusual. You don't normally see that many.
Well, they're
Like
weird. The wrecks are weird. They're not just like normal flips that you see because most of the time drivers handle that no problem.
usually a
It's the
car coming in
aftermath. Like
and
it was Josh Peck, not Josh Peck, Justin Peck. He flipped and he got hit in the side.
yeah,
Same with Brad Sweet. He got hit from another car that was coming up trying to avoid him, didn't have anywhere to go. It's just weird stuff like that happening. So, fortunately, nothing life-threatening so far. Hopefully, it stays that way. And hopefully, we see some clean racing coming up at the Knoxville Nationals and everybody can drive away without any bad crashes.
yeah,
I think that does it for this week, though. So, like I said, make sure you guys follow anywhere you get your podcast and share it, share it, share it, and let us know what your blind ranking is of that corn game is. Trying to do fun games every week. We should have to do it last week, but we'll get back into it next week. And I believe it's back to road course racing next week at Watkins Glen, if I'm not
yeah. I
mistaken.
believe
And then it
so.
gets to Richmond, and then it's
And Daytona.
Daytona. So coming up to the regular season finale in NASCAR. So a lot of good stuff coming up. Previewing Knoxville Nationals next week. So we'll see you guys then.
All right, bye everybody.